So this is the Sideshow exclusive Catwoman, and I purchased this several years back. I was really happy with this purchase at the time. However, I did put it away for a few years because I rotate my display continuously. And when I pulled it out to display, well, I was pretty happy to see it out of the box. However, on first posing the figure fell apart. I was really upset that I spent $200 or so on this figure, and I was unaware of the underlying problem because Sideshow decided to use a very inexpensive body for their work. So needless to say, be careful with these Sideshow pieces that are older. They are prone to disintegrate, not break, not fall apart, truly disintegrate. Because when I pulled it away from the costume, there was no plastic there. It was just goo and a few crumbled pieces of plastic. You could really barely tell how it went back together. So it was very disappointing. But this video isn't necessarily to complain, it is to show you what I ended up doing to fix it. At the point I did not have this channel, so I really didn't record the process, but I can tell you what I did by showing you the actual figure. So I decided to replace the body with a TBLeague body, which at that time was known as a Fison. Now, you can decide on whether you want to go with the large bust or the medium or the small. I went with the medium, and I went with a lighter skin tone, Caucasian skin tone, and it doesn't exactly match the face because the face has makeup. So don't try to match the face, because anytime women wear makeup, it is not matching their skin tone. So in any case, the TBLeague body is a rubber I guess it's a latex that covers an internal skeleton, and I'll show you in just a moment. So the TBLeague body worked out really well because I can actually use a lot of the socket or the ball joints on the same Sideshow body. Unfortunately, the head is not one of them. You do have to enlarge the opening to fit on that ball socket for the head. However, the body from TBLeague does have ball joints on the wrist. Now, this is the section that ended up giving way. It just totally disintegrated. Useless. It was just goo and a few crumbled pieces. Wasn't worth fixing or even replacing parts. So I just replaced it entirely with the TBLeague body. But I like the TBLeague body because the ball joint on the wrist fits the wrists on the hands that are from Sideshow. So I didn't have to do any modifications there. It just pop on and pop off. And if I want to, then of course I can place the skin tone or the hands without the gloves from TBLeague depicting Catwoman without her gloves in hand. So this is just a different look. Personally, I will be displaying her with her gloved hands. So this is what she would look like without gloves. The hands are not as expressive. That's why it's another reason I would not use the TBLeague hands. They're just not the greatest design, although they fit well on these ball joints. So I will be replacing these and only displaying her with her Catwoman gloved hands. Those are definitely the ones that obviously need to go with this figure. That's the reason why I bought it, because they're more expressive and they really do show off the character as she is depicted in the comics. Now the nice thing about this is that now you can zip open the suit and you have skin tone going all the way to the bottom. The Sideshow body was only skin tone on the bust, and underneath that it was a black piece of plastic all the way down to the crotch. It just was the ugliest thing, so you couldn't open the suit. However, this body is so much better. It fits it really well. Now the boots I had to tailor to the TBLeague body because the socket on the inside did not fit the one from TBLeague. So I literally had to cut them open and pull out the socket that's on the inside. And I cut it just underneath the strap that is just above the ankle. So I ended up gluing it back with super glue. Now you have to be careful with that super glue because it does melt this vinyl rubber. So I replaced the inside socket with the ankle from the feet that come with the TBLeague body. I cut the foot in half and I put it inside and I glued it down to the bottom and on the side. And you can see here where I glued the other boot. Once you have it open and you have it taken care of. Now, if you can see here, if you go too far with the glue as I did on this one, it can melt it. And it started to melt through on this side by the ankle. Fortunately, I was able to remedy it by pulling it back out and taking out some of that glue, and then just, anyway, it was an ordeal, but it's all taken care of now, so be careful. So these TBLeague bodies come with feet or they come with removable feet. So make sure that when you purchase it, you get the one with removable feet. Now here's a close-up of the head. One of them I had to retrofit because I went too far on the Dremel and I had to fix it. So be very careful how much of that plastic you Dremel away. You only want to Dremel away just enough so it's a tight fit, not a loose fit. Unfortunately, I went too far on this second head and I had to fix it. So just be very careful when you are Dremeling that head. I've seen a lot of these videos on this Catwoman, but none of them tell you how you have to retrofit the head. And that's very disappointing because if I would have learned that earlier, I would not have made the mistake on this one. Unfortunately, I had to learn this on my own, so I'm sharing it with you so that if you do have this one or you're planning on buying a used one, supposedly unopened, be careful. Mine wasn't unopened for several years and it disintegrated in the box. So don't trust that price just because it says it's mint in box. Make sure they open it and they pose it. If they bust it open, then it's on them. Oh, in case you're wondering what's in the backpack, there's nothing. It's a useless backpack. It's just there for show. It comes with 2 whips, and each whip has a different end on it. I don't know really why it came with 2 whips, but it's nice. They're both very flexible. They're leather, or pleather probably, but they work really well with the figure. The worst and ugliest detail here is this belt. It's got these 2 little magnets, very weak magnets, and they're always coming apart. It's just a really bad design. The belt looks great once it's attached, and it holds all of the other accessories like the whip on one side. However, anytime you try to pose it, you ended up taking it apart. So it's just so frustrating that you have to re-clip that belt every single time. Now when you're posing these TBLeague bodies, make sure you use 2 hands because it does have a resistance. It's very tight, but whatever pose you put it in, it'll hold it. Of course, do not exceed the limits of that armature. It still can ruin your figure. And of course, don't expose it to harsh temperatures because it is a latex body. However, if you put it in a room controlled area or temperature controlled area, then you're going to have this last for a very long time. Just be advised that any of these figures, over time they will deteriorate. So enjoy them while you can. Or if you have to sell them before they deteriorate, then they become somebody else's problem. And that's unfortunate to say that, but that's all true. Now this is a close-up of the interior or the internal steel frame that these TBLeague bodies have. All the little blue spots that you see, those are the joints. And it's got plenty of movement. You can tell here, you really can't do this with a Sideshow body. It's really difficult to get it in there and to stay in that pose. However, with these TBLeague bodies, it's just so much nicer, and it has, it fills out the suit really well. It looks way better than the Sideshow body. So I'm going to leave you with the rest of this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment, and of course share it. Give me a like, and please subscribe. And in the meantime, don't forget to keep customizing.